Donald Trump's numbers on the economy and in general continue to crash as the economy continues to go down. That was exciting news this morning. But if it wasn't clear that he's worried about the fact that people aren't buying what he's selling, take a look at this clip and see how over the top he's going in trying to convince people that he's not actually terrible on the economy.
You have gasoline that hit $1.98 yesterday in a couple of states. You have gasoline's way down. The price of oil has dropped substantially. The price of groceries are substantially down. And the egg prices are down 87%. But nobody talks about that. You can have all the eggs you want. We have too many eggs. In fact, if anything, the prices are getting too low.
Yeah, so that's exciting because I wasn't aware of that. I don't ever leave my house ever. So I looked it up and I was like, oh my God, 198 gas, what is it, 2009? And do you know where gas hit 198? Nowhere, literally nowhere. That was just made up. That's not true at all. Gas is actually still quite expensive. And eggs down, 87% down. Nope, not remotely true. No, they're not down actually at all. They're actually at record levels. They are more expensive, not necessarily in every individual spot, but on average, they're more expensive than they were under Joe Biden when it was a national scandal. So gas is not down, eggs are not down too low actually at all, just a massive lie. So we're gonna give you like what there is. So the two states that were tied with the lowest average gas price on Wednesdays, Mississippi and Tennessee. It was $2.70 per gallon. So that's way cheaper than LA, like to be fair. But it's also almost $1 more, almost 50% more than he was lying about. The national average was $3.17, so an extra 50 cents over that. It is unlikely that there is a single individual gas station selling a gallon for $1.98 or less. Maybe in some remote place where nobody buys it or something, but we can't find any evidence of that. And that wouldn't really be representative of anything anyway. In the same way that when they find like the most expensive gas station in the country, that's like $5 more than any other, that doesn't mean anything. These are the averages. And look, is it a little bit better than at some points under Biden? I think so. I think it's a little bit better, but it's not what he's saying it is. And so they were asked to substantiate the bold claims he's making, and they were unable to do so. Spokesperson Harrison Fields chided reporters to get out of their big city bubble and check the gas prices in middle America. Oh, we did that actually. In Mississippi and Tennessee, it's $1 more than you said it was. So was that big city Mississippi? You know, urban Tennessee? Again, it's just lies and BS. Let's see, Gas Buddy tracks tens of thousands of gas stations in Manhattan, I bet. Found 0 stations selling for under $2. Okay, so that's a big lie. Forget about the gas. He was gassing you on. What about the eggs? Let's get to the yolk of the matter. Well, on Friday, the average wholesale price of eggs was $3.13. That's a slight uptick from the previous week. They say that prices have dropped since February. Retail prices are beginning to drop. Wholesale and retail prices are not the same. The last national thing that we reported on was the record highs. So no, they're not down 87%. They're not too low. What would that even mean? I love that even when he's lying to you about the economy, he doesn't like that you would be able to buy stuff too easily. He has to slip that in even as he's lying. And let's see the historic prices of eggs per dozen. And so you did have a big uptick under Joe Biden with bird flu and everything, but Trump eclipsed it. It's off of the chart actually. And again, you might say, well, he can't be held responsible for that. What's the president gonna do? Okay, well then I guess that's true of Joe Biden. Then I guess we can just ignore that entire chart for both of them. But anyway, it's all lies. And JR, I wanna bring you in. Like, it is one thing to have a bad economy, but to continually tell people, no, you're wrong. It's better than you think. You can afford eggs. Stop lying that you can't. That doesn't seem like a great strategy. What do you think?
It seems like a bunch of children running the government is what it seems like. They just expect to lie and then get away with it. And then when you're caught lying, to just continue to do it anyway. Say, actually, you know what? The media keeps spinning our lies to be lies, because when you look at what's right in front of your face, you have to actually see it for what it is. This whole thing, he's still in campaign mode. Anytime he's confronted, because they keep getting cornered with their lies, they go back to these over-the-top campaign promises. Bro, you're in office. So these lines that people bought during the campaign when he says stuff like, there'll be too many eggs, prices will be too low, with no specifics, obviously, he thinks he can keep doing that. And by the way, I watched way too much of Donald Trump speak. So this whole line that he goes through when he says, I came into office, I'm not lying to you, I've seen him say this 4 times in the past week. When I came into office, everyone kept talking about these egg prices. And I was like, well, tell me about it so I can fix it, because I don't know what you guys are talking about. Bro, why are you running that lie when we know that you ran your campaign, part of it, on lowering grocery prices? Remember, he invented the word groceries as he told us. Groceries, who would have thought? Who says groceries on a campaign trail? Only me. So if you campaigned on it, as you've sold us multiple times that you did, and then you get into office and then you're hit with this onslaught of everybody talking about eggs, I wonder who brought it up. You brought it up. That's why we're talking about eggs, because we could talk about milk, we could talk about cereal, we could talk about electronics, we can talk about all these things that you're tariffing now. And as you've gone into raising prices on everything else. So there's plenty, it's a target-rich environment. But you talked about eggs. Your dumbass vice president went into a grocery store with his kids that were climbing on his back and said, look at the price of these eggs. It's a national security threat. So you guys brought up eggs over and over and over again. Do not complain about anybody talking about eggs. They're gaslighting you to your face, because they don't think you're gonna go much further past the racism, the bigotry, and the sexism that they kept pushing at you during the campaign. They thought they could just rest on that. So as they finally have to answer for stuff, it's more cartoonish answers. I don't know why we're still listening to them.
Exactly, yeah, they're gaslighting you. They're literally gaslighting you about gas. Like I don't have a good pun for the eggs, but they're lying to you about them. I guess that's something. And I don't think it's a great strategy. You lie to people about what the likely effect of your tariffs are gonna be. That's at least a lie where you lie now, and I guess they'd have to remember it in a month or in 6 months. Maybe they'll forget. Right now, you're lying about what they saw in Vons or HEB or whatever, Stop and Shop today. You're telling them the thing you just saw, shut up, you're wrong. It's better than that. That's a crazy political strategy. If you enjoyed that, make sure that you never miss another video by subscribing. And if you want a little more, consider hitting the join button and becoming an actual member. But you're probably wondering, why the hell would I do that, John? First off, calm down. The stakes in this are very, very low. But also, when you click the join button and you become a member, you get access to bonus content that I make every week, and it's a ton of fun. You get access to tons of custom emojis and more besides that. By the way, if you join at tier 3, you even get access to a monthly member hangout with myself and other awesome people, and we always have a great time. By the way, you'll get all that going forward, but you also unlock years of the back catalog. That is literally 100 or more bonus clips, top 10 lists, debates, and more. What are you waiting for? Click the join button below. Your support powers our show, and we couldn't do it without you. Or at the very least, I wouldn't really want to try. Viewers like you keep me here. So thank you in advance for joining.